Right, in this vlog, we're going to be doing some engine building, some CNC machining, making some carbon fibre products, doing a bit of all sorts really, and building two cars and drinking some beer. If you're interested in that, go and get yourself a brew. It's going to be a long one. Alright YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So, where are we? So last year, year before last, me and the missus went away in the caravan, and one night we were having a meal, had a few too many drinks, started looking on Facebook Marketplace and decided to buy a little Bambino kart for my son. He was 3 at the time. Thinking I was going to give him that Christmas, I realised that he was just too young, so we never gave it him. Then last year he started mentioning he wanted an engine go-kart, and his best friend in school, Jackson, was also mentioning the same sort of thing. And I have a few beers with Jackson's dad, Dean. So he bought a kart, and Dean said, "Can you leave it? Can I look after it in my workshop to keep it secret until Santa comes?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I had both karts parked next to each other in my workshop. And to be fair, Dean paid a few quid for his, double what I paid for mine, or AJ's. And you can tell when you have them next to each other, AJ's just looked tired. So I thought, right, I can't give him that. I need to do a bit of a restoration on it. So I did a full nut and bolt restoration, some new parts, reconditioned parts, and while I get myself a pint, I'll let you lot watch this little vlog, see what you think. Right, so as you can see, I did go to town on that a little bit, and he was absolutely over the moon with it. So that's definitely some daddy points scored for me, I hope. But I couldn't let him have all the glory, so I decided to do exactly the same modifications to mine. So I wanted to make my kart a bigger version of his in terms of all the graphics and the colour scheme. So the first job was to get the chassis stripped, strip the kart, and give it to Sean at Wrexham Powder Coat, and he's turned it around super quick. And I ended up with this. It's a bit dusty at the minute, but what a superb job he's done. Absolutely stunning. I've done in satin black. And one thing I did notice is when I exposed the plate, this is actually a 2002 chassis. So it's 21 years old, and I was going to do some modifications to the chassis itself, and I thought, I can't do that to a 21-year-old car. So it's cool just leaving it old as a bit of a classic. So what I'm deciding to do is I'm going to fit some nice new Gucci bits. So that's all the front end stuff here, some new, some old, just reconditioned. I've gone for all new bearing carriers. I've gone for a new 4-pot caliper. It was quite expensive. I'm not going to say how much it was, so I know the missus will be watching this vlog and I'll get it in the neck if I say that. So it just cost a few quid. But as you can see, that's the old one, twin pot, whereas this one's now a lovely 4-pot. I've gone with the Kelgate carrier and disc. Again, I'm not going to mention how much that cost because I value my life. Kelgate hoses, just new tie rods, just a bit of a freshen up really. And I'll also touch on the engines. I don't know if you can notice, but in the corner where the dyno used to be, I sold the dyno because I'm going to be making a new dyno, which I will vlog. But as it stands now, I wasn't able to dyno the engines after I had a bit of a mishap, which was this. The Conrod decided to leave the building. So I've rebuilt the engines, and I've gone for a new style of cylinder head. But I need to fabricate new exhaust manifolds and new inlet manifolds, which will all be covered in this vlog. So like I say, it's going to be a long one this, but I hope you enjoy it. So we'll start off by assembling the rear axle, and then I'll move over to the front, start doing the steering setup. So let's go with the axle. Whew, let's go. Right, hit a bit of a snag with this build. So I bought new plastics for this, and I was trying to make it fit the new modern way, when you have like a bar underneath and a bar on the top, and they clamp together. So I was trying to modify my existing bracket by lobbing the top off and seeing if it fit there. But the problem I've got is this bar makes the bumper sit too high up. So I'm going to have to fabricate a new bracket for that. So I've ordered some metal, which should be arriving next week. So I can't do anything with that. So what I am doing now is, I've bled the brakes up as well. Brakes got a nice pedal. That's done. What I'm going to do is, these engines are quite special at the moment. They're based on the Predator 212 engine, but I've heavily modified these. I'll probably go into another video about them, but these are running a shredder head, so unlike the traditional D shape, this is now a circular one. So I've had a lot of flanges made from DRD Racing, and these are port matched to the exact profile. So I've got some bends, so I'm using a 45 stainless bend, which will slot in there like that. I'll weld that up, and I'll be using these 26mm nibby carbs. Really good piece of equipment, that. That's the so what I've got to do is just basically try and fabricate a manifold that'll just miss the wheel but still be as short as possible. So that's stuff I can get on with now. Let's try and fabricate a manifold. Okay, so I'm not too sure where I am with this video or this vlog at the minute because it's going back and forth with this, that and the other. But now I've got the exhaust sort of semi-made. The last time I was at Rednall, they did mention that my exhausts are on the loud side, so I'm trying to make them a bit quieter. So I've just done a temporary mock-up of the engine, just got it bolted on here now. I made a temporary fuel line just so I can get it running. And the test I'm going to do is I've got the standard exhausts, which are horrendously loud, and I've got my phone here with an app on it which measures the sound decibels. So what I'm going to do is get the engine started with the loud exhaust on, then see what reading I get. Then I'll fit the new exhaust on with no packing to begin with, then start adding packing as I go along and just see how it affects the decibels and if we can get the noise down a bit. But that's the best I can do really for the test. So let's see how we get on. Right, so that was with the loud exhausts, and you can see the maximum it hit was 115 decibels. So we've got a benchmark now of what we're trying to achieve. We want to get lower than that. So I'm going to take this exhaust off, get the new exhaust on with no what's called packing wadding in it, and just see what that results with.
No, stick that again straight away then.
Boom, 100.
100.
Job done.
Happy days.
Job done. Okay, so now we've got the exhaust to the right sort of packing to give it as quiet as I can. I've fabricated a manifold, which is a bit extreme. I'm trying to make it as short as I can. And it's on quite a bit of an angle because what's going to happen is it's going to have a bit of a tailpipe on it like that. And if you look, I want to keep the footprint inside the cart, so it's not going to be protruding out like that. So it looks a bit crazy, but it's not meant to look good. I mean, it'd be nice if it did look good, but it's more about keeping the noise down so the karting tracks are happy with me. You know, you don't look at your exhaust when you're going fast. You're too busy trying to keep in a straight line, so it is what it is. So what I've got to do now is make a jig so I can make another manifold for the other engine. And then we're going to pop round to Gary again tomorrow, and he's going to finish welding up round here and put some nice little tailpipes on it. And then that's the exhaust boxed off. They've been crack on with the rest of it. So I'm going to make the manifold jig now and see where we go from there.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell
Right, so we're back from Gary's now. So he's welded up the manifolds, and I'm absolutely over the moon with them. They do look a little bit leery, but I've got no choice. I've got to try and make them quiet. Here's the gaskets that you've seen, been CNC machined. So the job now is to get both engines on here, and then get the exhaust on and see how we're looking. So let's get them fitted. Right, so I've got the exhausts on now, giving them a little bit of a polish. Yeah, quite happy with them. Still a bit leery, but so what I'm doing now is try and get the engines tightened down, get the chains on it, carburetors on it with the new inlets, and just get the throttles working, and hopefully might be able to fire it up and see how it sounds. So let's start putting it back together. Okay, so got a bit more progress on the kart. I forgot to bring my camera back from work the other day, so I've done quite a bit since the last clip. So what I've done is I managed to get the steering wheel on with my new custom carbon fibre switch panel. So I started doing the wiring. I've left my spade connectors in work, so I can't finish them off. That's going to be for the RPM, because the idea is that I can kill both engines just off pushing a button. But what this switch does here is when I've got my Alfano Digi-Dash at the top, if I want to see the RPM of engine 1, just switch it like that. If I want the RPM for engine 2, just switch it like that. So that's the purpose of that. I've also made a fresh bracket for the fuel tank. I've done all the fuel lines, which are super neat now. Really nicely tucked away, and they are as symmetrical as I could possibly get them. I've also installed these quick release connectors, if you like, for the ignition engine cut. So if I want to take the engine off, I just unclip that, and they're IP65 rated, so they're all waterproof. So I just take them off. What else have we done? Yeah. So I made my own gaskets to fit the ported head, but this is a very common misconception with shredder heads and the Nibby 26 carb. Just because the two bolt locations are the same on the Nibby carb as they are on the cylinder head, the ports do not match. Now, I didn't save the file for the flanges I had made in a good way, so I got mixed up between the Nibby carb flange and the head flange. As you can see here, that doesn't line up the best. So what I've done is I CNC machined some fresh ones in work, which are these, made from nice cork material. If I just put this on here now, you'll see what I mean. It's just so much better. Look at that, absolutely bang on. So yeah, I think it's time to get the inlet manifolds on, the carbs on, get the fuel system plumbed in onto the carbs, and let's see what these bad boys sound like. I'm really excited. You can see they're absolutely pristine, so they've not been fired up yet. But let's see how we get on. Right, so bit of a quick clip now. I've got all the the throttle cable linkages all linked up now to the carbs. The carbs installed, the new inlets. I think everything's ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is prime the fuel into the carburetor bowls, and let's see if we can get this thing started. So, as Roger Hart would say, stand by. Fuel's bamboo. Right, so it sounds pretty naughty at the minute, but what I'm really surprised at is the kill switches. They're what I use on my control panels in work. So they've got like a little LED halo around them, which is normally 12 volt. But fair dues, the ignition system on these got enough juice to power them up, so when the engines are running, they light up with the blue LED on the halo. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire them up quickly and show you how that works. And yeah, a bit more of it, how it sounds. So it's pretty cool. If you're driving, one of the engine dies, you can tell straight away which engine it is. And, yeah, it's a bit cool, really. So, well, one thing off the list. Okay, so not too sure where we're at on this vlog again, but what have we done? So I've fitted new tyres, freshly sprayed the wheels, a nice silver, same as AJ's. Got some black plastics I've put on, remounted the brackets. They need a bit of adjustment. Had to do a slight cutout on this this side pod, just so it doesn't foul on the clutch. I need to make some brackets to support the manifolds, just to make sure it's proper solid. But what I'm going to struggle with is this front bumper. So I've got these bits of steel, some of the old bumper mounts. I've got to somehow make the new style bumper fit the old style chassis. So I'm waiting on some bits from Amazon now. As soon as that lands, I can get on with fabricating the front bumper. But I think this is very, very close now. It's Wednesday evening and I'm due to have the first outing Friday morning. So let's see if we can get this finished.
I really wanted to get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life. But I never really put up a fight. Didn't follow my dreams. And now I'm losing sleep.
Right, not much coverage there, simply because I'm running away with time's running away from me, and it's Thursday night, so we're out on track first thing in the morning. I need to get this done. So I just cracked on with the fabrication, and I'm really happy with what's happened so far. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it's functional, which is, makes you go the same speed. So what I've done is I fabricated these bumper mounts. I bought some smaller diameter tube, which I've slotted inside the existing tube, which I've hacked up, welded it up. I've used the modern style quick release clamps to hold it in place. I've measured it all up and it sits just where I want it, if you like. It follows the line of the plastics from the back to the front, and it's still ever so slightly higher than the bottom of the chassis. Whether that's how it's supposed to be, I don't know, but it's where I want it in terms of aesthetics and how it looks, because that's a big part of my my karting sort of thing. I've also made a bracket for the front to hold the front Nasu panel. So it's standard at the back here, but at the front I didn't know what to do because with this being an old chassis, it's not meant for this kit. So I've just made this sort of very, very makeshift frame, a bit of flat bar, bit of tube, and triangulated it, and it seems to be working fine. It's absolutely solid. I took advantage of the rigidity by mounting the camera mount at the bottom, so I think that's going to get some really good coverage. The last bit of fabrication I did was on these exhaust manifolds. As I found out that these exhausts, even though they're made from aluminium, they'll still have a bit of weight. I don't want to put any stress on the 2 bolts that go into the head. So I've just put another bar, just going to the top here to try and help take the stress off them 2 bolts. But yeah, this is that is the last of the hard work all done, I think. So Dino, the lad, has kindly brought some pizza around. So we're all gonna have a quick beer, bit of food, have 5 minutes, watch a bit of crap on YouTube, and then whack some stickers on. But yeah, she will go to the ball. How long should she be at the ball for is another question. Let's keep going.
Blocking your pizza.
Right, that is me done. So it's now 10:30 on a Thursday night, and I am absolutely goosed. But I think I've come to a point now where the car is finished to a point where I can use it on track. So we're out first thing in the morning. We'll see how we get on. It's been so many changes to this car since the last outing. Hopefully rectified some faults, made some improvements. I'll talk you through a couple of them now. The main one being really is the 4-pot caliper and the Kelgate disc. That's a lot of money's worth there, but hopefully that'll help this thing slow down because it is a 22-year-old chassis, so it's not the most advanced of chassis. So you've got a lot of power there and not so much in terms of technology in the chassis. So braking is important. We've got the custom exhaust. They're much lighter now because they're fully aluminium with a stainless steel baffle inside with a compression fit. The custom manifolds, custom inlet manifolds, and the Nibby carbs. I've jetted both the carbs the same, and yeah, they're running sweet. Obviously, the new plastics they've been going on, fresh powder coats. It's basically full restoration. A different colour change, trying to make it the same as my son's AJ. And I'll try and get a photo on the next vlog or the next 2 vlogs of both cars together because they do look identical now, which is it just makes you happy. I've done a wheel colour change as well, so that's all done. This is all done with a rattle can as well, which I'm really happy with the results. Fresh tyres. I'm happy with the camera mount. That's a lot more solid now. Whereas before, I used to have the camera here, it used to wobble quite a bit. You can see me shaking up now. The camera's not moving itself at all. So it's really nice looking. I think the plastics and the graphics really do set it off. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but my son, he had Haribo, whereas I've got Coors, because as you can tell, Coors and pizza make my world go round. But right, yeah, so I'm going to finish the vlog here. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a bit long-winded. I'm going to get myself to bed because I'm absolutely knackered. I'll put some more photos up now to end the vid, and the next vlog will be of what happens tomorrow, whether it lasts, whether it throws a rod, as it did before. Or you never know, it might actually do a few laps and do some decent times and speeds. So, yeah, let's see how we get on. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.